There's a reason why some people walk into a room and silence follows, not because of how loud they speak, but because of how confidently they carry their message. Have you ever wished your voice could command that kind of attention? That your words could reach beyond noise and echo in people's hearts? This is not about being famous or perfect. This is about building the kind of confidence that makes people stop, listen, and believe. If you've ever doubted your voice, if you've ever felt your knees shake while you had something important to say, then this speech is for you. Because today, I'll reveal the secrets that powerful communicators use, not just to speak, but to move people. Stay with me till the end, because the final principle I'll share is what separates ordinary speakers from unforgettable ones. It's the one most people miss, and it could change how you speak forever. One of the biggest lies we've been told is that some people are just born confident. That confidence is something you either have or you don't. But here's the truth. Confidence is not a talent, it's a discipline. It's a skill that can be developed, shaped, and strengthened over time, no matter where you're starting from. The most impactful communicators, leaders, the motivational speakers, the influencers you follow on social media, they weren't always confident. They became confident by doing the work. Think about it. You didn't learn to walk without falling. You didn't learn to ride a bike without wobbling. Confidence works the same way. It doesn't show up fully formed. It's built step by shaky step. This is good news because it means confidence is within your reach. It's not reserved for extroverts or people with perfect voices or polished looks. It's for the quiet ones, the ones who've been overlooked, the ones who have something powerful to say but feel like they're not ready. Confidence doesn't come before the action. In today's digital world, where communication is currency, building confidence is no longer optional. It's essential. Whether you're delivering a public speech, recording a video for your personal brand, launching a YouTube channel, presenting on a Zoom call, or just speaking up in a meeting, your voice matters. But in order to be heard, your voice must carry conviction. People don't respond to noise, they respond to energy. And confidence is what amplifies your energy. Social media is filled with polished clips, TED Talk moments, viral reels, and Instagram-ready sound bites. But what you don't see is the journey behind those moments, the fear before the mic, the self-doubt before the camera, the hesitation before the post. You don't need to go viral to be valid, you just need to start. Say the thing, take the step, own your voice. That's how the confidence muscle begins to grow. Real, lasting confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from showing up when you feel unqualified. It grows every time you face fear and speak anyway. It expands every time you lean into discomfort and say, "This message is bigger than my insecurity." And with repetition, that shaky voice becomes a strong one. Confidence is built in the unseen moments, in practice, in preparation, in journaling your thoughts, in recording voice memos, just to hear yourself speak with clarity, in saying yes to opportunities that scare you just a little. It's built in the quiet grind long before anyone applauds. The secret? You don't wait to feel confident. You choose to be courageous. You take the mic. You step on the stage. You press record. You raise your hand. You speak. Not because you don't feel fear, but because you know the only way to defeat it is to move through it. If you want to deliver an impactful speech, it starts here, with a belief that confidence is not a destination, but a journey. One that's fueled by commitment, not comfort. The more you speak, the more you grow. The more you show up, the more you shine. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You just need to believe in your message enough to share it. Confidence is built, and the moment you decide to stop waiting for it and start creating it is the moment everything changes. Behind every impactful speaker is not just a message, but a mission. Purpose is the invisible force that gives your words weight, direction, and energy. When you know exactly why you're speaking, your confidence shifts from shaky to unshakable. You're no longer just trying to impress or get approval. You're trying to make a difference. And that's where real power comes from. In a world flooded with content, podcasts, TikToks, Instagram stories, YouTube shorts, viral clips, people are not just looking for more information. They're craving authenticity. They want to hear something real, something that resonates, something that feels like it matters. Purpose is what makes your speech matter. When your words are driven by purpose, you stop speaking from your head and start speaking from your heart. That's when people stop scrolling. That's when audiences lean in. Because purpose connects. It gives your communication soul. And in a time where so much of what we see is surface level, a purposeful message cuts through the noise. But here's the key. Your purpose must be bigger than your fear. When you're rooted in purpose, you're not just speaking to be heard, you're speaking to serve. You're not trying to sound perfect, you're trying to impact lives. That mindset removes pressure. Because now it's not about you, it's about the people who need what you have to say. If you're preparing a public speech, launching a podcast, speaking on camera, or sharing your story on social media, your why must be clear. Not for likes, not for claps, but because your voice carries something someone else needs to hear. Maybe it's hope, maybe it's clarity, maybe it's courage. But purpose transforms your voice into a vehicle for transformation. Think about some of the most powerful speeches in history. What made them unforgettable wasn't just eloquence. It was intention. The speaker had a vision, a cause, a fire burning inside. And because of that, their words stirred hearts, moved minds, and sometimes even changed history. That's the power of speaking from purpose. If you want your audience to feel your message, you have to feel it first. Speak from your convictions. Let your passion show. Let your truth come through. Don't water it down trying to sound smart or polished. Speak raw if you need to. Speak messy if you have to. But speak with meaning. Purpose will always outperform perfection. In today's creator economy, whether you're building a personal brand, becoming a thought leader, or creating content that converts, people follow purpose. It's not just about views, it's about value. It's not just about being seen, it's about being remembered. A purposeful message builds trust, credibility, and emotional connection. 3 things every powerful speaker must master. So before you craft your speech, ask yourself, why am I speaking? Who am I trying to help? What do I want them to feel, do, or believe? These questions unlock purpose. And when you speak from that place, your confidence rises because now you're not guessing, you're guided. Purpose gives your message roots. It gives your confidence wings. It keeps you grounded when you're nervous, and it lifts you when you're unsure. In the end, the most impactful speakers aren't the loudest or the most polished, they're the most purposeful. And when you speak from that kind of fire, people don't just hear you, they remember you. Fear is often the biggest obstacle between you and the impactful speech you're meant to deliver. It shows up in different ways: sweaty palms, racing heart, dry mouth, shaky voice. Whether you're stepping onto a stage, pressing record on a video, or speaking up in a meeting, fear has a way of whispering, "You're not ready. you'll mess up, or no one will care what you say. But here's the truth that most powerful speakers eventually learn. Fear isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal that you're stepping into something important. Overcoming fear is not about eliminating it. It's about mastering it. Fear will always try to follow you, but it doesn't have to lead you. In fact, fear can become your compass. If something scares you, it often means you're growing. It means you're stepping outside the limits of your comfort zone and entering the arena where transformation happens. Public speaking anxiety is one of the most common fears in the world, and yet it's also one of the most misunderstood. We think we have to wait until we're fearless to speak confidently. That's a lie. Confidence doesn't come from being fearless. It comes from facing fear again and again until it loses its grip. The more you step into uncomfortable speaking opportunities, the more you stretch your limits, and the more you stretch, the more you grow. In the age of content creation, digital entrepreneurship, and social media influence, being able to communicate with clarity and presence is a superpower. Whether you're delivering a keynote speech, doing a TikTok live, hosting a webinar, or building a brand on YouTube, fear will try to hold you back. It will try to convince you that others are more qualified, more polished, or more deserving. But here's what fear never expects: your decision to act anyway. It's not the confident people who get opportunities, it's the courageous ones. The ones who press go live even when they're nervous. The ones who speak up even when their voice trembles. The ones who know their message matters more than their ego. That's how leaders are born. Not in comfort, but in courage. Fear doesn't mean stop. It means prepare. Preparation gives you power. When you rehearse, study, and visualize your message, you slowly take authority over fear. You learn to shift your focus from self to service. When you remember that your words could unlock healing, truth, or inspiration for someone else, the fear begins to shrink, because it's no longer about being perfect, it's about being useful. There are techniques that help reduce fear: deep breathing, positive visualization, grounding exercises, vocal warm-ups. But even more powerful is your mindset. When you stop interpreting fear as danger and start seeing it as opportunity, your relationship with fear changes. You stop avoiding it and start using it. Fear, when transformed, becomes fuel. Let's be honest. Your first few speeches might not feel smooth. You might stumble, forget a line, or feel awkward. That's okay. That's how greatness starts. Every confident speaker was once terrified. Every powerful communicator had a moment where they almost backed out. But didn't. They pushed through. And that decision to keep going in the presence of fear is what changed everything. So if fear is showing up in your life, good. It means you're aiming higher. It means you're stepping up. Don't wait until you're fearless to speak. Speak, and the fear will begin to fade. Not all at once, but piece by piece, word by word, speech by speech. The first step to building confidence is not being fearless, it's showing up anyway. In a world saturated with filters, flawless edits, and curated highlight reels, authenticity has become rare. And because of that, it has become powerful. People no longer connect with perfection. They connect with realness. They connect with raw emotions, honest stories, and voices that aren't trying to be someone else. If you want to build true confidence and deliver a speech that leaves an impact, authenticity must be your foundation. The most effective speakers, influencers, and content creators today aren't always the most polished. They're the ones who make you feel something. They're relatable, vulnerable, and unapologetically themselves. They stumble over words and still move people to tears. They may not have perfect grammar or professional lighting, but what they do have is heart. And that heart speaks louder than any rehearsed script ever could. Authenticity builds trust, and trust is the currency of influence. When your audience senses that you're being real, they relax, they lean in, they feel seen and heard, because in that moment, it's not just a speech, it's a connection. This is especially true in today's era of social media storytelling, podcasting, personal branding, and digital marketing. Whether you're recording a YouTube video, going live on Instagram, or sharing your journey on LinkedIn, people are drawn to voices that reflect truth over performance. Trying to be perfect is exhausting and unnecessary. The fear of messing up, sounding wrong, or being judged often stems from a belief that you must meet some imaginary standard to be worthy of attention. But perfection is a mask, and masks create distance. When you drop the act and simply show up as you are, with your imperfections, flaws, and all, you invite others to do the same. And that is when true engagement happens. Your story, your voice, and your journey are unique. No one else on the planet has your exact experiences, your exact perspective, or your exact way of expressing truth. That uniqueness is your power. And when you speak from that place, you become unforgettable. Your authenticity becomes your signature. Think of the most viral TED Talks or motivational videos online, the ones that trend not because of high production, but because of raw impact. Most of those speakers aren't chasing perfection. They're sharing something real. Maybe it's a moment of failure. Maybe it's a painful past. Maybe it's a lesson they learned the hard way. And it's in those honest moments that the audience sees themselves. They stop watching for entertainment and start listening for transformation. Even in corporate settings or professional presentations, authenticity creates influence. You don't have to sound robotic to sound credible. You don't have to strip your personality to appear professional. In fact, bringing your humanity into the message is what separates good communicators from great ones. It allows your confidence to be rooted in truth, not performance. And when you're grounded in truth, no one can shake you. The pressure to perform vanishes when you realize you're not here to impress. You're here to impact. People don't remember perfect words. They remember how you made them feel. And that feeling is born from honesty, vulnerability, and courage. So the next time you prepare to speak, whether it's a keynote speech, a live session, a podcast episode, or even a short video, don't aim for perfection. Aim for real. Speak from your heart. Share what's true. Let the audience feel your journey, because in a noisy world chasing perfection, your authenticity will always stand out. Confidence doesn't come from sounding like everyone else. It comes from owning who you are and showing up fully as you. Authenticity isn't just a strategy, it's your superpower. Before you say a single word, your body is already speaking. Long before your audience hears your message, they're reading your posture, your eye contact, your tone, and your presence. This is why mastering body language and voice is a non-negotiable if you want to deliver an impactful, confident speech. Whether you're stepping onto a physical stage or speaking through a screen on TikTok, YouTube, or a Zoom call, your non-verbal communication carries more weight than you think. Your body language either amplifies your confidence or exposes your insecurity. The way you stand, move, and gesture sends signals to your audience about how much you believe in what you're saying. Are your shoulders back? Are your hands expressive? Are your movements intentional, or are they frantic and nervous? Every movement tells a story. The key is to make sure your body is telling the same story your words are. When your posture is upright and open, you project authority. When your eye contact is steady, you build trust. When your gestures align with your words, you reinforce your message. Even subtle cues like pausing instead of rushing, breathing deeply instead of fidgeting, and smiling with intention can dramatically increase how your message is received. Now let's talk about your voice. Your voice is not just a tool, it's an instrument. And like any instrument, it needs tuning. Pitch, pace, tone, and volume all work together to create emotional impact. A monotone voice can make even the most powerful speech feel dull. But a voice filled with dynamic energy, rising and falling, softening and strengthening, keeps people engaged. That kind of vocal variation draws your audience in and makes your message unforgettable. If you want to sound more confident and compelling, learn to control your breathing. Shallow breathing creates tension and weakens your voice. Deep, steady breaths give your voice strength and rhythm. This is one of the simplest and most underrated techniques used by top keynote speakers, TEDx presenters, and influencers across platforms. Before you speak, center yourself. Ground your energy. Let your voice come from a place of calm power. On platforms like Instagram Reels, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts, where attention spans are short and first impressions matter, your voice and body language need to command attention in seconds. Your energy must match your message. If you're talking about something exciting, let your voice reflect that excitement. If you're sharing something serious, let your tone carry the gravity of the moment. Emotional authenticity must be felt in your voice and seen in your body. Practicing in front of a mirror or recording yourself is one of the most effective ways to refine these skills. Watch your body language. Listen to your tone. Are your gestures helping or distracting? Are your pauses purposeful or filled with filler words? This kind of self-awareness is how great speakers separate themselves from good ones. They understand that every gesture, every glance, and every vocal shift either builds or breaks their presence. What's powerful about mastering nonverbal communication is that it begins to reshape your internal state. When you practice confident posture and voice, you begin to feel more confident. This is more than performance, it's transformation. Studies even show that adopting power poses and strong vocal delivery can literally reduce cortisol and increase feelings of confidence. People may forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And much of that feeling comes not from your words, but from your delivery. You don't have to be theatrical or over the top. You just have to be intentional. So if you want to speak with impact, don't just focus on what you say. Focus on how you show up. Your presence is your platform. And when your body language and voice align with your message, your confidence becomes undeniable. When it comes to delivering an impactful speech, clarity is not optional, it's everything. A message that isn't clear will never be remembered. No matter how passionate your voice is, how strong your body language appears, or how many fancy words you use, if your message is scattered, your audience will tune out. In a world overwhelmed with content, attention is a limited resource and clarity is what earns it. Clarity is what makes your speech stick. Think about the last time you heard a message that truly moved you. What made it powerful? It probably wasn't a long list of facts or complex vocabulary. It was the simplicity of the message, the focused idea, the clear call to action. Clarity makes your audience feel safe. It gives them a sense of direction. It helps them know exactly what to take away and why it mattered. This applies whether you're giving a TED-style keynote, launching a personal brand, posting short-form content on TikTok or Instagram Reels, or creating long-form storytelling videos on YouTube. Your audience is scrolling fast, living busy lives, and dealing with constant digital noise. If your speech isn't clear in the first few seconds, if the "why should I care" isn't obvious, they're gone. That's why you need to identify the core of your message. Ask yourself, what's the one idea I want them to remember? Not 5 ideas, not a bullet-pointed breakdown. One. A clear message creates alignment in your delivery. It sharpens your voice. It strengthens your body language. It gives you confidence because now you're not guessing, you're focused. Clarity also builds authority. When you speak clearly, people assume you know what you're talking about. When your message is foggy or all over the place, it signals uncertainty, even if you're passionate. Being articulate isn't about having a large vocabulary. It's about delivering your truth in a way that feels focused, powerful, and easy to absorb. Its realm of motivational speaking, digital entrepreneurship, podcasting, and content creation, clarity is what turns followers into fans. It's what gets your reels shared, your shorts replayed, and your videos bookmarked. People don't just want inspiration, they want direction. They want a message that's clean, punchy, and actionable. Even your structure should reflect clarity. Your introduction should grab attention and clearly state the value of what's coming. Your body should break the message down into digestible parts with clear transitions, and your conclusion should tie everything together with emotional impact. Don't overload your speech with too many stories, statistics, or quotes. Instead, let each point build toward one powerful idea. Editing is your secret weapon. The best communicators are ruthless editors. They remove anything that distracts from their core message. They don't fall in love with their words, they fall in love with their audience's understanding. If a line sounds clever but confuses your listener, it needs to go. If a joke doesn't serve the message, it's gone. This is how you sharpen your impact. Clarity also improves your confidence. When you know exactly what you're trying to say, you speak with conviction. You don't ramble. You don't second guess yourself. You move with precision and purpose. That confidence is contagious. Your audience feels it, and they respond to it. The truth is, people are desperate for clarity right now. They want voices that cut through the noise and say something real, something simple, something true. If you can be that voice, whether in a speech, on a podcast, in a reel, or in a boardroom, you'll stand out. So before you speak, ask yourself, is my message clear enough to be remembered? Can it be summed up in one sentence? Would my audience be able to repeat it back in their own words? Because when your message is clear, your impact becomes unstoppable. Confidence is not something that magically appears when you step on stage or hit record. It's built in the quiet moments of preparation. The most powerful speakers, content creators, and thought leaders understand that what the audience sees is only a fraction of what goes on behind the scenes. The energy, the authority, the impact, all of it is rooted in how well you prepare. Preparation isn't about memorizing lines. It's about owning your message so deeply that it becomes a part of you. When you prepare with intention, you walk into any speaking moment, whether it's a keynote, a TED Talk, a YouTube video, or an Instagram Live, with certainty. You don't have to fake confidence because you've already done the work. You've researched, rehearsed, reflected, you've anticipated objections, you've clarified your main point. That level of preparation silences self-doubt because it replaces fear with focus. In today's fast-paced digital world, where short-form content dominates platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, preparation allows you to be quick and clear, two things that are absolutely essential if you want to hook your audience in the first few seconds. If you're not prepared, your message will ramble, you'll hesitate, you'll second-guess yourself. But when you've prepared well, your message cuts through the noise like a laser. People stop scrolling, they pay attention, they trust you. Preparation also means knowing your audience. The more you understand their fears, desires, and pain points, the more targeted and effective your message becomes. This applies to everything from public speaking and personal branding to podcast interviews and online coaching. When you prepare with your audience in mind, your speech doesn't just sound good, it feels relevant. That's what drives real engagement. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Preparation takes discipline. It's not always exciting. It means practicing your delivery when no one's watching. It means rewriting your speech 5 times until it flows. It means listening to yourself on playback even when it's uncomfortable. It's showing up in the background before you ever show up in the spotlight. But that grind, the private preparation, is what gives you public power. Even the most charismatic speakers rehearse. The most viral TEDx talks are rehearsed dozens of times. Top podcasters and influencers script or outline their content. Motivational speakers study their cadence, their transitions, their storytelling. They leave very little to chance because they know preparation doesn't limit creativity, it frees it. When you've prepared deeply, you have the mental space to improvise, to flow, to pivot in real time without losing your message. Preparation is also a mindset. It's about approaching every speaking opportunity, no matter how big or small, with respect, whether you're speaking to a stadium of thousands or a group of 5 on a Zoom call. Preparation says, I value your time. I believe my message matters. I've invested in making it count. Let's not forget the emotional side of preparation. It's not just about data and delivery, it's about preparing your heart, checking in with your intention, grounding yourself in purpose, visualizing success, affirming your voice. These inner rituals shape your outer presence. Because when your mind and message are aligned, your presence becomes magnetic. Confidence is not found in the moment, it's built before the moment. Preparation is what transforms nervous energy into commanding presence. It turns hesitation into momentum. It builds the kind of confidence that doesn't shake when the lights come on or the camera starts rolling. So if you want to speak with power, if you want to inspire action, if you want to own every room you walk into, don't wait for confidence. Prepare for it. Because preparation doesn't just get you ready, it makes you unshakable. Words are not just sounds or sentences, they are seeds. And when spoken with belief, clarity, and confidence, they carry the power to take root in someone's heart and change their life. One impactful speech, one honest story, one bold truth can unlock courage, healing, direction, or even transformation in someone who was silently struggling. If you ever doubted whether your voice mattered, understand this. Your words have weight, and when used intentionally, they can become a force for good far beyond anything you imagine. We live in a digital age where communication happens at lightning speed through podcasts, TikTok videos, YouTube Reels, Instagram stories, webinars, keynotes, Zoom meetings, and live streams. The world is constantly talking, but very few are truly reaching. Why? Because most people speak to impress, not to transform. But if your goal is to speak with impact, then your mindset must shift from how do I sound to how do I serve. The most memorable speeches are not always the most polished. They're the most meaningful. They are born out of purpose, vulnerability, and a sincere desire to leave people better than you found them. This is where your confidence takes on a new dimension. It's not just about how you stand or speak. It's about what you carry inside your message. You must speak with the belief that someone's breakthrough may be tied to your voice, that someone might be waiting for your words to give them permission to dream again, forgive again, try again. The power of communication in 2025 and beyond isn't in perfection, it's in connection. People crave realness. They want to feel something. They want to hear from someone who gets it. Someone who's walked through the fire and came out with wisdom. Someone who isn't just delivering a speech, but who's delivering themselves. That's what makes a speech unforgettable. That's what builds a brand that inspires trust, loyalty, and long-term impact. When you speak with belief, your energy shifts, your voice deepens, your posture aligns, you begin to embody your message, and the audience feels that alignment. This is what makes your message magnetic. Whether you're on stage or online, belief activates something powerful in the room or through the screen. It's not hype. It's not noise. It's resonance. It's when your voice hits a frequency that matches someone's inner pain or hidden hope, and suddenly they feel seen. This is what makes content go viral. Not just algorithms, but authentic resonance. One reel, one short, one clip where you speak truth with passion can reach millions. One podcast episode where you open your heart can create impact you'll never fully measure. One YouTube video, spoken with clarity and emotion, can become the thing someone replays when they're on the edge of quitting. That's the power your words carry. And here's the truth that most people underestimate. Your story matters. Your experiences, your failures, your lessons, they hold value. You don't need a platform of millions to make a difference. Sometimes your greatest impact will happen in small rooms, in intimate spaces, in quiet moments. When your words reach someone's soul, the size of the audience doesn't determine the size of your impact, your intention does. If you want your words to change lives, you must speak from a place of truth, not performance, not pretense. Truth. People know when you're faking it, but they also know when you're being real, and real moves people. Real challenges them. Real heals them. Real calls them higher. This is why building confidence is so critical, because when you believe in your message, you deliver it differently. You speak with authority, not arrogance, but assurance. You don't shrink your message. You don't dilute your story. You speak with boldness because you know that silence serves no one. You know that someone, somewhere, needs exactly what you have to say. When you begin to realize the potential of your voice, you'll stop doubting your place in the room. You'll stop comparing yourself to other speakers or content creators or influencers. You'll stop waiting for permission. You'll start preparing, showing up, and speaking with impact. Not just because it's your passion, but because it's your responsibility. Imagine this: a single sentence from your story could help someone shift their mindset. A 60-second clip could help someone finally let go of shame. A 5-minute message could help someone believe in their purpose again. That is not a small thing, that is everything. And it begins the moment you choose to stop holding back your voice. So speak with belief, speak with clarity, speak with heart. Your words are not just communication, they are contribution. You never know who's listening. You never know what moment will matter most. But when you speak with the intention to uplift, to awaken, to serve, you don't just deliver a message, you deliver a miracle. Your voice is more powerful than you think, but it will only rise when you choose to build it. Confidence isn't a gift someone gives you, it's a habit you create, one brave word at a time. So go ahead, stand tall, speak boldly, because when you do, someone's life might just change, starting with yours.